Hey y'all, hey. Today we are reading The Berenstain Bears Pet Rescue. There was a special assembly going on at the Bear Country School, deep in Bear Country. Volunteers from the local animal shelter were visiting with a group of pets. All the cubs at school were excited to meet and learn about these new animal friends. Guys, I'm reading. Go play someone else then. But I'm reading. It's story time. Hello, everyone, said a volunteer. I'm Patty from the Bear Country Animal Shelter. I'm here to introduce you to some special guests. They are all what we call rescue pets. These animals have been taken from places where they were not treated well. They need special care to get better before they can be adopted by new families.
It need a dog.
Who need a dog?
Him. You need a new dog?
She work at a pet rescue place. Would any of you cubs like to come up on stage and meet our pets? Asked Patty. Of course, all the students raised their hands. Brother, sister, and cousin Fred were picked. They got to pet a dog named Lucky and a cat named Percival. Then a parrot named Mac perched on sister's shoulder while brother held a hamster named Fluff. Cousin Fred put out his finger and a colorful lizard named Zippy climbed onto his hand. Oh no. All of these pets and many more are up for adoption at the animal shelter, Patty told them. Please come and visit us. Maybe you could give a good home to one of these wonderful animals. After school, brother, sister, and Fred walked home together. It would be nice to adopt one of those pets, said sister. Yes, agreed brother, but we already have several pets. That's probably enough for us. As a matter of fact, said Fred, I'm going to adopt a pet from the animal shelter. I've been visiting a lot and have one picked out. I'm going there right after school to bring it home. Wow, said brother and sister. Can we come with you? Sure, said Fred.
I go with them. I come.
You want to go with him?
Yeah. Brother, I go with that.
Everything was arranged with Mama and Papa. Fred's parents picked the cubs up and they headed for the animal shelter. As they arrived, Patty met them at the door. So glad you all could come, she said. Let's start with a tour of the shelter. Patty showed them around. There was a big room where volunteers were caring for pets, grooming them, petting them, snuggling with them, and playing with them. It's good for pets who have been treated badly to get comfortable with people in this way. When the animals first come to us, they can be very shy and fearful. But with patience and kindness, most begin to feel safe and happy. Patty moved on to the areas where the pets lived. The dogs and cats were kept in nice, bright pens where they had plenty of food and water. The smaller animals like hamsters, guinea pigs, birds, and lizards were cared for in pleasant cages where they had plenty of toys and places to exercise. Now, Fred, said Patty, let's get together with your own special rescue pet. Patty brought out Taffy, a cute caramel-colored little dog. Taffy came right up to Fred, wagging her tail and licking his hand. Fred had met and played with Taffy many times before.
Mama. You become Mama.
At first, Taffy was shy with brother and sister. She hid behind Fred. But after a while, she felt more confident. She sniffed their hands, wagged her tail, and let them pet her. Taffy has come a long way, said Patty. When she first came to us, she was afraid of all strangers. But after she met Fred and got to know and trust him, she's become much more confident. Well, Fred, said Patty, this is the big moment. The adoption paperwork is all done. Are you ready to take Taffy home? Yes, said Fred, very excited. I sure am. I can hardly wait. So with Taffy on a leash, Fred led her outside to the car. At first, she was worried about getting in the car, but Fred was very patient, petting and soothing her. Finally, she felt more secure and climbed in with Fred. When they arrived at Fred's house, they led Taffy inside and let her explore her new home. She was very curious and sniffed and poked into every nook and cranny. Then they took Taffy outside to explore the yard. The yard was surrounded by a strong fence to keep Taffy safe inside. Taffy loved the yard. She sniffed in the flower beds and scratched in the nice soft earth. She saw some birds and a squirrel. She happily ran after them, barking loudly. The birds flew off and the squirrel dashed up a tree where it chittered angrily, waving its tail at the annoying dog. Taffy was very happy. You fell down?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Fred took out a frisbee and tossed it across the yard. Delighted, Taffy chased after it, grabbed it, and ran back to Fred, laying it at his feet. Brother and sister took turns tossing the frisbee to Taffy. She ran back and forth across the yard until they were all tired out. She sat down in a heap, panting happily. Cairo, don't you hear Mommy reading a story? Okay, listen to the story.
Okay.
The cubs gathered around their new friend and gave her a big group bear hug. They loved their new rescue pet. It felt so good to know that she now had a safe and loving home.
Mama.
Yes?
I found a man who said give some money for us. Maybe be a robot or
The end. The Berenstain Bears Pet Rescue.